As a movement coach, one of my focuses is to help the actors to physically transform into a character. In this session, where we start to create the character of Nora from A Doll's House, we will look at different exercises like gender and etiquette, animal studies, Laban efforts, and the tarantella to help the actor in her character transformation. Paintings can be very useful. They offer an insight into the world and they don't move about, so they give us time to take the information in. It's common practice to look at portraits to get information, but an actor can take it one stage further and physically experience and collect the body stories that speak to her about a character, or she can try out several stories that offer something of the world. The stillness is amazing, and that you can actually, it will inform your body if you hold still for a little bit. And I think if you just do a few of these portraits and really find the exactness of them, then they will inform you something.
Okay, definitely that one.
This one.
Okay. I love her youth. And that looks kind of posed.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Which
so
is great.
This is me doing reading kind of thing.
Okay, so let's do that one.
I like that.
You're really taking the information about the hands, the neckline, the way she's sitting. It's a very posed picture. Rudolf Laban was very important for movement. He created a very sophisticated movement language, perfect for the actor. It can describe the full range of human condition. Laban's work demonstrates that all human movement can be expressed through combinations of 8 basic efforts. Having looked at the 4 light efforts with Emily, and she chose to work with floating and flicking, Emily could explore where they might fit with Nora. Okay, so if we start with floating, just to get yourself in. So that's indirect, light and sustained. One move, never ending. And suddenly it stops. Flick. You're just indirect, light and sudden. And all you can do is keep moving. Okay, so let's look at a normal activity in a human body doing human things. So, but the flick is driving you. By exploring the nature of both of these and then internalising them within an everyday action, she discovered the tick and something made sense. Sometimes an actor will do a study of an animal. An animal's physicality makes demands on the human body that an actor could never invent. So this is the best transformation tool.
I was looking in the script and she's described often in different ways by Torvald as different animals. Often birds, small variety birds, little things, little creatures. But actually I keep coming back to like the same animal, and I think it's a tricky choice, but it feels right, and there's something about the horse, and the reason that the horse keeps coming back to me, I think it's to do with the tarantella and that kind of that Italian influence, that kind of Latin influence. This is what it really made me think of. It's like it's trained horses.
Oh wow!
Controlling the animal and forcing it to do things that are really unnatural, and it's just that it just really resonated with Nora for me. And there's something also about the horse when it's in stillness. It's got that, it just feels like it's waiting, that steady rhythm and that stillness of just waiting and waiting, and I feel she's got that. But then there's this kind of wild side to her that if she could run free, she could, there's a potential in there, which I love.
I think that's great. We've just got to let the horse out to play and see what it offers the character. Once you've got a study of the horse and you've got something to play with, then we can look at it in relation to Nora. For Emily, within this scene, the rhythm of life of the horse is surfacing as Nora's anxiety. This is a worthwhile discovery for Emily, but a next stage would be to leap from the contented animal to the character in an improvisation of, say, her simply living in her home. The tarantella is a dance that Nora learnt when she was in Capri, so the full tarantella is never seen in the play. But it would be useful for the actor to learn it, to use as a place to play as the metaphoric journey that Nora goes on the evening of her resolution. So this step, if you remember, is you're imagining there's a man here.
Yeah.
And the man is basically standing and he's almost puppeteering you into that backward motion. So he does a sweep of it. So he does a sweep of his arm, and you go back. So what we want to do is really get that table playing. With the character in mind, I picked out what excited me from the choreography. For instance, at the beginning of the tarantella, she revolves in a backward step as though the male is puppeteering her with a sweep of his arm. This backward move is helpless in this situation. But for Nora, this move can also be experienced as courageous, as going backwards is moving into the unknown. She's also on a level plane, like a doll on a music box. But when the torso tips, this becomes free and wild. The movement of the character comes in part from the costume. It can offer the actor a wonderful insight into the world the character existed in, and she can immediately know something of what it was to be her. Okay, great. God, it looks great.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
All right, so how does that feel?
Restrictive.
Yeah, good. What we forget when we're doing costume is that, yes, of course the actor's got to move in it, they've got to be free, they've got to do their thing. But you've really got to get into what the costume offers you as a character. How does she speak with her feet, or how does she speak with bits of her body that are more hidden? Move in the space and see, what does it tell you to do? How does it move? What does it say? And how does it teach you about movement? Body parts that are revealed are to be communicated with. Where does the costume offer support? Where does it restrict, and therefore where does it allow movement? What is the weight of the fabric? How does the costume sit, stand, walk? We've achieved a lot in a short time. Emily is on the road to discovering some very exciting physical choices. And this character will now develop a physical life of its own. There's now potential for discovery.